what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Yes, I believe he pronounces it Dominic, but it does look like Dominic Williams. Of course, that is the TCU defensive tackle who was freshman All-American 2 years ago. He was All Big 12 this last season. He is the number one target on LSU's list, and LSU had the final visit on the list. He arrived on Monday. He'll be leaving Baton Rouge today. A decision is expected soon. Dominic Williams also visited Texas, Oklahoma, and Mizzou. And word on the street is it's going to be between Texas and LSU. And Jake, how fascinating is that? That you hire Bo Davis to a position group contract that we've never quite seen before. At least I don't know that I've ever seen it, right? 1.5. Is that actually, Taylor, maybe you could try to look this up. Is that actually the highest position coach contract in the entire country?
Not coordinator, but just straight up position coach.
I almost feel as it has to be. I've never heard of anything like that. So you hire him away from Texas, and you are now competing directly with Texas for the very position he coaches. So in terms of, well, I would say symbolic victories, but no, this would be a very functional victories. In terms of early dubs that Bo Davis could have, there may be no bigger one than beating his old school in Texas and convincing Dominic Williams to come to LSU.
Yeah, it's going to be his opportunity, and you need him badly. You lost 3 defensive tackles to the NFL draft, which is wild considering how the defense performed a year ago, but obviously those individual players had enough tape to be able to go out there and get drafted. Texas also had multiple guys get drafted, but, I mean, you can use things like that. You can be like, hey, look, this defense last year was in the hundreds, and they still had 3 defensive tackles selected in the NFL draft. Sure. We are going to be much better than that. I'm going to put you in a position where you're going to be a first-round, second-round pick, whatever it might be. I mean, that's why Bo Davis is here, because of all the players that he's put into the NFL. So it's a big shot for him, and you just need to get 2. Whichever the group looks like, and you've got 4 names here, 3 names, and you need to get 2 of those players to campus because you need 2 players at that position. One will be exciting, but 2 feels like you really need to add to the.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because LSU's not really. They're not really hiding anything. I mean, they are all in on Dominic Williams and Simeon Barrow Jr. And because of how scholarships work, and right now LSU's at 82 of 85 scholarships, according to Shea Dixon's reporting, that number will likely drop down to 81 before the season starts, as there is all it said was a current roster member who is going to decide some future plans. It sounds like somebody's battling injury and may end up medically retiring or something along those lines. And so you have 4 scholarships to play with, but that means you do have to be, a bit careful in how you manage these things. So, there's a guy like Aiden Huntington. ULM just entered the portal very late. He was first team All-Sun Belt. LSU has researched Huntington. They are fully aware of him, but word on the street is they are waiting on the Dominic Williams and Simeon Barrow decision until what they're going to decide to do. And it's not just him. CJ West is in that same boat as well. So make no mistake, LSU, again, all in terms of resources, in terms of time that they're spending, all in on landing Williams and Simeon Barrow Jr., who, of course, is the Michigan State defensive tackle. Now, the Barrow decision could come as soon as today or tomorrow, right? The next couple of days. And right now, LSU is thought to be in the lead with Barrow. I think wasn't it on 3 that maybe even had him with 100% prediction. But there is some idea that potentially Miami, where he just left, could shake things up just with almost like a Godfather, just pure NIL, show me the money type of offer, which, make no mistake, LSU is also offering and probably overpaying for this market because everybody is right now. But that seems to be the main competitor, though I would consider Barrow a heavy LSU lean, whereas Williams, it's kind of up in the air between Texas and LSU.
So on 3 also kind of has them ranked as far as best players available in the transfer portal. 72nd for Williams, 76 for Barrow, Huntington 79th. So, like, they're all kind of like right there as far as maybe the quality of the player, at least where the rankings are in these players. But all 4-star guys. Started out 3-star guys in high school, but in the portal, they're all 4-star guys. And Williams, 91.85. Barrow, 91.76. Huntington, 91.70. So, all very, very similar to where they're ranked in the portal. So again,
kind of surprised they haven't maybe gone after Huntington, or at least officially.
He entered yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yesterday
he
or
just
the day
entered.
before. He hasn't been in very long.
Okay, so maybe like they are trying to. Maybe they're trying to ramp that up because Williams went in the 17th, Barrow went in the 18th, Huntington goes in the 29th.
It is said they I think exactly what she wrote was something along the lines of like extensive research. They're definitely like in on the Huntington situation. It just comes down to, I guess, what those first 2 guys are going to do, though it sounds like they're basically all kind of equivalent. So you land 2 of those 3, and all of a sudden I'm talking about I almost want to bump up my season expectation win total. Like right now, I've told you multiple times, I view LSU as like a 15th ranked team in the country. I view them as probably like a bit like last year, although it'll look different in how you get there. But I kind of view them like probably like a 9-3 team. You land 2 of these guys, I can be sunshine pumped into starting to talk about 10-2 and maybe fighting for one of those 12 playoff spots. But it's going. But you have to do that. You have to shore up this glaring Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's not even just like glaring. I mean, I think we all agree there. It's in dire straits of needing something.
Yeah.
Because we saw what it was in the spring. You hear the conversations going on. You had to move an offensive lineman to defensive line. You were playing with a lot of walk-on players. You have right now, one that you know because you've seen him in SEC and Jacob Guillory.
Yeah.
You've seen what he can do. Jacob Guillory has been a nice rotational piece for like 3 years. Like he has been here for a long time, played for a long time. But you need more bodies that you know can handle major college football, coming from the Big Ten, coming from the Big 12. Like even with Huntington, like him coming from ULM being his last stop, like that situation feels a little bit different than even the other 2. Like he might end up being the same kind of player, but like you just need proven guys in the middle of your defense.
I agree. And again, these guys would represent that. And make no mistake, LSU is doing everything they can to try to leave no stone unturned in this regard. And it's just a massive early opportunity for Bo Davis to see, look, this is why you brought me here, to sell this vision, to sell this school that I know so intimately. Well, just one more little recruiting tidbit thrown in here, and then we'll move on to LSU baseball next. But LSU's making a move on Khalil Lockett. If you don't know who that is, he's an uncommitted 5-star wide receiver out of Texas. He's the number 2 wide receiver in the country. He's a top 15 player in the country. Of course, LSU already has the Decorian Moore commitment, which looks like it was wobbly. And then Moore said he's good, but it's still kind of wobbly a little bit. Well, Lockett just teamed up with LSU commits Bryce Underwood, Harlan Berry, and Tron Francis to compete in a 7-7 tournament down in Florida when he got home. To what do you know where this is in Texas, Alondra, as our Texas correspondent? Sachi? SACHSC? Sachi?
No, I actually don't.
I've never heard of it either.
Spell it again?
SACHSC. Sachi. Sachet?
I'm going to guess East Texas, but...
Either way.
No.
When he got home, Joe Sloat and Cortez Hankton were there waiting on him, showed up at his hometown.
It was outside of Dallas.
Lockett said that Bryce Underwood is pushing hard for this LSU class right now, saying, quote, come to LSU, come be part of a dynasty, come be part of the best class, and come win a national championship. That don't sound too bad. Sounds like a plan. That was Lockett speaking on Underwood's pitch. And he would go on to say, this 2025 class is hot with all the recruits and commits, and I see why, because LSU's that program. I'm really liking LSU, and they're pretty high on my list right now. So continue to monitor the Lockett situation.
Sounds to me like Underwood's trying to get in Khalik's ear to lock it down.
Well done. And it does, indeed, that's what it sounds like. It's wild. I don't know what magic this LSU staff ensorcelled Bryce Underwood with. Maybe it's the allure of 2 Heismans in the last 5 years. but to have the number one quarterback in the country that's not even from anywhere remotely near here to be so committed, to be such an active leader and recruiter, it just kind of boggles the mind, quite frankly, and I'd love to see it.
Yeah, you said it. Like, you have 2 Heisman winners. You have a number 1 pick. You have a number 2 pick. You have exciting offense. You led the offense, the country in offense a year ago. You had multiple receivers go in the first round. You've got the 2 coolest receivers in the NFL. Like, you've got all those things that are built up. And, high school players see all of that now. Like, all of that is right there in front of them. And this staff's done a really nice job of recruiting to that. How many times have we already seen them bring back Joe Burrow and Jefferson and Chase and Clyde and all these players in the springtime to be around these guys, right? When all these recruits are coming to spring practice, well, they're like, man, yeah, Joe Burrow went here, Jaden Daniels went here, Malik Neighbors went here. Like, all these guys went here, and they know all of these players, right? Odell Beckham still, right? He still kind of has a stronghold on like how cool you can be in receiver and playing in the NFL, all those things. And so you have to use all of that. Like, all of that has to be like, I would be talking about, hey, like we talked about earlier, with all these defensive tackles that just got drafted, man, you have to use all of that to your advantage.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.